Hello and welcome to the 2023 Waco Annual Charity Open. It's the back nine of round one, our FPO lead card on Jomez. It's all presented by Prodigy. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
We're just so happy to be here. We both love the Beast. It's a challenging course. You need a forehand, a backhand, touch shots, mental game, wind control. What else do you need?
Putting. There's some scary putting out there.
Forgot about putting.
Yep. Don't we all? Don't forget, there is 50% off on all Innova stock at Jomez.com. It's only till Monday, though. JomezPro.com.
Yep.
I'm new to this.
We are new. We are watching, in particular, Kristen Tattar shred this course 5 down through 9.
Bogey free.
Yep, we saw Lykke, Lorentzen get back to even par. Paige Pierce 2 over. Caroline Henderson debut, struggling a little bit. We'll see if she can clean it up on the back.
Yeah, classic, maybe some nerves. Also, the Beast has teeth. You can literally beat your own score by 18 strokes from round to round.
That is true. I think I've done it.
Yes. That is like the nature of the Beast. Hole 10, shorter par 4. Kind of borderline a tweener hole if you talk to some of the distance throwers in FPO at 491 feet.
I don't talk to them.
You throw something in the middle of the fairway as far as you can. You'll see distance drivers here. The second shot, you're going into this guarded green with the hill that drops off behind the basket, but no out of bounds you have to worry about, just lots of trees. Early left is death.
All right, well, you psychopaths who skipped the front nine, I know you're out there. You guys commented. I saw it. So we called Lykke lucky, and Valerie Mandojano is not here. She's out with an ankle injury. Kristen Tattar, first tournament of the year, recovering from some surgery in the off season, and that's all that happened.
A surgery where she now slays.
Yeah, she's a robot now. And that was a huge shot.
Yeah, giant. Being on the left side, there is an opening, but right side is a little bit more comfortable for approaching the green. Early left, where Paige is headed right now, can be rough. You're pretty much playing for par at that point.
Yeah, it's often just a pitch out from that log. I feel like everyone's landed by that log.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least
the
in
corner
practice.
log.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary.
Caroline, that one looks nice and clean.
Caroline, after just one Elite Series event, is well known for her distance and accuracy in driving with forehand and backhand. So excited to watch her open up a little more on the back nine as when we get out of the woods a bit.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most fun drives to just lace. Like it's wide enough that you should hit it, but tight enough where you still need to shape a really good shot.
And it's just such a pretty fairway.
Mm-hmm. Lykke gets caught up on the second and gets kicked a little bit. Hopefully she has an open look for the third. Paige deep in here.
Is that a forehand roller?
Forehand something. Yeah.
Oh, you know you're in trouble when. And it looks like she might just be ping-ponging to the other side. But there's some room to work over there. And with her little backhand turnover shot, she could save the par still.
Every time I throw rollers out of the woods, it's that army golf, you know? Yeah. Left, right, left, right.
Oh my God, I've never heard that.
No?
No.
It's a classic.
Caroline chipping her sidearm up to inside the circle.
Yeah, a little bit more of a putt than you'd want.
And Kristen's so far.
She is. She kind of overthrows it, and it's not quite as perfect as we're used to seeing from her. It's the biggest insult I can think of. Kristen really just playing so, I don't want to say flawless, but so clean.
And look at Paige with the jump putt, Anheuser approach.
Beautiful recovery.
Lykke throwing 3, just chipping up to the green.
And I think Lykke is just kind of inches away from having a really, really good round. Like she's playing well, but not quite, I don't want to say getting rewarded, but she's right there is all I'm trying to say with a lot of words.
No, I 100% agree. It looks so clean.
Not quite as clean as Kristen, 6 down through 10.
I like to see Caroline aggressively putting at the basket. It doesn't look timid.
Yeah.
They'll drop. Lykke with a nice par save from about, 25 feet?
Yeah.
Maybe a little farther?
Sure. The sun's coming out a little bit.
The temperature swings here in Central Texas. Nice par save from Paige.
Wild all week.
During this round, it would go, I swear it was like 15 degree difference if the sun was out versus the shade and the wind.
Or, a wind pocket if you're guarded.
Caroline coming back for par. 27% taking a birdie, 48 with a par, and 25 with a bogey. So a really nice scoring separation on that hole. Love that hole for FPO. Kristen still bogey free at 6 down. The rest of our feature card at even or a little bit above. We had 2-hole 11.
Yeah, kind of an interesting one. It's straight, but downhill, then back uphill, maybe just slightly to the right. You see a lot of kind of flip up to straight shots. You see a lot of people go just left of that tree right now that we just passed, or you drift to the right and then try to get around this big tree. It's really hard to park this one. You see a lot of shots just kind of stop right before the hill and leave circle edge or circle 2 putts. Early anywhere is obviously a horrible mistake.
Flex forehand, I think, is
brutal.
Yeah, flex forehand's the best play here if you've got that distance. It comes into the green the way that you want to.
But it's kind of a tight flex, though, too.
It is.
It's technical. Lucky with an F2, that kind of understable fairway play I was talking about. And that is like the quintessential play for hole 11. Leaves a tough putt. If you hit cage on that putt, it's a roll away every time and often leaves you in a worse spot than you started.
Paige a little high and turned over. Thankfully, it kicks down into the fairway because going right is not good. Caroline opting for the sidearm here.
Love it.
Well, nice little hyzer flip to straight. Hyzer's out. Ooh.
Yeah, I think not quite enough flip.
That might have helped. That tree might be a good thing.
Paige, pretty touchy from back here. That tree is right in the way.
There's so many trees in the way on this one. This approach is tough.
To me, the one Caroline's sitting next to right now is kind of like the make or break tree. And then the one behind it is also that if you make this first one.
All of the trees.
It's mostly those two. Yeah.
And then that big
There's
one
that
right
big one back there too, yeah. But then you're in the circle, you're
Yeah.
putting. Paige with a little touch sidearm on her third. Really good touch there.
Kristen having to straddle out and take a knee. The little forehand approach.
Forehand throw in. Oh, no. Oh, and there's the bad roll.
Yeah, this hill is brutal. And those woods on the left side, there's so many low branches. If you get back in there and have to putt, it's really hard to access the basket.
Lucky for a big birdie putt. This would be a momentum changer.
Wow.
Yeah, so good. I like to call those breaking points in my mind. Because now I bet she starts getting more of them.
Erika coined
shredding.
Breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 6 birdies on the day.
You know what? That's funny. I don't even call it that. I call it a shatter point, which is a Star Wars reference.
Good God.
Shatter point.
It keeps getting better, folks.
Yeah. I guess I've never said it out loud. I forgot. I didn't remember what it was.
Our feature card only having 1 birdie on the card, but only 6 on the day. And this one is... It's 279. Like, this seems like one that everyone should at least be getting a putt at. But, man, it is a tough one, the way it's angled.
I don't think it's like the typical shot. It's kind of a unique little shape.
Yep. Not an Anheuser, but not a straight shot.
Man, what a sweet birdie from Lucky.
And that brings her under par for the first time in the round.
Caroline stringing couple of pars together, hoping to get her first birdie of the round.
We have 1 more hole in the woods before we head out into the open, and it's this brutal hole 12. It's a par 5 at 609 feet, so kind of a short one for a par 5, as is typical at the Beast. Shorties on the pars. You want to throw a forehand or a backhand turnover off the tee and try to cover some ground. This second shot is tough. You want it to finish right at this hill. You don't necessarily need to bite off more. You can, but just being in the middle at the bottom of that hill is great to get the birdie. If you filter too far straight or left, it can be rough to save it. If you're up on top of the hill in 3, you're pretty safe for par. It's tough to mess it up from there.
backhand on this tee shot scares me to death.
Me too.
It feels like such a safe forehand if you have any kind of workable forehand at all. And we had some technical difficulties on hole 12, so just use your imagination to guess where Lykke landed.
Yeah, it's definitely a right finishing shot, but if you don't have the distance to get around the corner, it can finish out early and it can be tough. But Caroline shows us a pretty perfect landing zone.
That's so good.
I think she gets actually a little farther than most people would.
Yeah, I would say probably like 30 to 40 feet farther than the typical landing spot.
This is Bill, our camera guy for one hole, learning as he goes.
Telling the players to be quiet while he films. It's a quiet sign.
This work environment is fluid, and we try to flow with it. That's a very typical mistake on this hole. The forehand pushing a little, forehand or backhand turnover, pushing just a little bit too straight and landing in those two little trees. A lot of second shots are going to be a step outside arm. Lykke really early off the tee. She's not even to the bend yet.
Yeah, she's playing for par. But that looks good.
Yeah, what a nice smooth forehand.
That's why I'm so surprised she didn't throw it off the tee. But I kind of think if you pipe that backhand shot off the tee, like you're going kind of big.
Yeah.
Like that's how you get maybe an eagle. It can be a really easy birdie. The forehand can't quite get as far.
Kristen's second shot about halfway down the tunnel. She'll still be able, I believe, to approach the green on her third.
Yeah, I think so.
Paige's second. She's in some bushes, but she has room to throw a backhand.
Great shot.
Wow, that's so good. I think she's far enough where she can throw up to the green now as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Caroline way down here. You're talking about eagle range.
The fact that she can throw her second shot a sidearm is crazy because usually this angle is not
impossible.
Yeah, if you're further back, you can't get the sidearm to go that far before hyzering.
Caroline did come up a little bit short, but likely she'll be able to still pitch up for a birdie. And this is beautiful too.
Lykke's about to have a breakout year. I feel that.
You calling it?
I'm calling it. She's looking so clean on backhand and sidearm and her putting, of course.
Just confident. You can tell her body language is just, she's got this,
Kristen with her second step out sidearm. She gets tangled up in the woods, but it's pretty easy to chip something up from there. She'll be able to save the par.
Yeah, it's
hopefully
possible. She might even have a putt, to be honest. There's some windows over there. Paige's third, throwing another backhand turnover, drifting nicely.
So good. God, that's like the
16 feet.
Fourth one of those she's thrown today.
Yeah, perfect ones.
God.
Caroline's third. Look where she is.
Almost up in the flat.
Hopefully looking at her first birdie. Get there.
Smoothie cakes.
Heck yes, that was fantastic. I just heard what you said.
Yeah, that's a big smile. This is a good one to get. This is the third most difficult hole of the day.
Wow.
Yep, only 17% of the field getting birdies, but the real kicker of why it played so difficult was 44% of the field bogeys or worse.
Ouch.
And we're talking lots of sevens.
Yep. Lykke for quite a par save. It's tough to recover when you're that early off the tee. She almost did it, but that'll be a bogey.
Kristen with a par. That's A-okay on 12. Doesn't feel too shabby. This is Paige for birdie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone relish in the green and the shade because we're heading out. Oh, no.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
We
all know it.
Just a mental slip or... Yep.
Sometimes your fingers just get tangled up in there.
I disagree strongly with you. Caroline with a great birdie.
Such a good birdie.
Yeah, she made it look so easy.
Air Spectrum is Prodigy's new line of premium lightweight discs in the mid-range, fairway, and distance driver models. You can now get beautiful bursts of color no matter your preferred weight. Bag one today at prodigydisc.com.
Hole 13 is a par 4, 555 feet. There is a mandatory on the right, so you need to throw to the left of it. Most people are going to take this gap that the drone is flying. There's some sidearm gaps or turnover gaps, but it's hard to get the birdie if you go that way. There's this right side fairway, or if you hyzer out on your drive, you can see this landing zone. People that end up on the left side, there's kind of a whole different fairway over there, different set of trees. It's definitely gettable by anyone in the field, but you're kind of average pro, not going to name any names or point directly at myself. It's kind of two full drives versus if you have that power, it's more of a drive and then an upshot. You really want to get this one, but it's a headwind, which makes it tough.
Yeah, the headwind on the tee shot's especially scary with that Mando. It's like your option is either to play it super safe. Paige is not going to be the example we're using here.
No.
Play super safe and just throw a hyzer and potentially do what Caroline did and hit those trees on the left-hand side, or go aggressive and accidentally flip one over and miss the Mando.
Or you just bomb it 3/4 of the way there. Yeah, that was an amazing drive.
That was probably 400.
Easy. Kristen, also a boss.
Oh, welcome to Crashtown.
Don't sigh so sadly.
I mean, I'm impressed. That's an impressed sigh. A dream sigh.
Lucky, taking that left side gap, it's a little bit smaller. She's throwing a D3. And this is kind of what I was talking about. You're kind of getting into hole 3's fairway over there. And it leaves a pretty large drive to get all the way there for a look.
I don't hate that play, honestly, because I think it's
fine.
Unless you're throwing like 350, it's really tough to get to the basket on your second shot. Like, it's a distance drive.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
she's splitting the hole basically in two.
Yep.
With a little bit more, I think, on this second shot.
And she'll probably give herself a circle 2 putt here.
Or Yeah, it's circle 2. I was hoping she'd get there.
She could.
Man, these were two unbelievably beautiful drives from Kristen and Paige. Yeah, and it lets you just throw this simple stock hyzer, like
275? Yeah.
Maybe less.
Maybe a little less.
Paige looking like a little less here.
Yeah, super soft shot.
220.
Leaves it a little short with that headwind putt.
Just a bit. Caroline's third. We've seen this mistake from her a couple times now where she's throwing into the ground.
Yeah, that feels like that might be her like kind of nervy default.
Maybe. It's good power and spin. It's just really low. Lucky just lays up on her third shot.
Oh, I like the line. She'll have to settle for a bogey here. There was only 7 birdies on the day. I think we'll see more than that in the next couple of days, I guess depending on the wind.
If it's a tailwind, everybody's getting it. Mm-hmm. Like 20% of everybody anyway.
Paige, a little left on the birdie putt, but stops close by, and she'll get that par.
We only have about one more hole that's kind of easy, should get, must get, and then it starts to get really difficult in the final stretch. Kristen with another birdie there.
And after a couple of longer holes, we head to one of the shorter holes on the course. Kristen, still the only player on our feature card under par. Lucky has been hanging out around even par all day, playing solid, but just not quite able to score.
Pretty similar story from Paige, too. She's right on the cusp. Both of them still have time to get under par.
Hole 14, there's a triple Mando only about 40 feet off the tee. It's not really one that's in your head. They also planted these new little trees with the wood chip piles around them, and they for sure get in the way. You used to be able to throw like a nice big Anheuser bomb to this green 303 feet, plays a little longer than that because it is slightly uphill, and we also had a headwind today. There's 2 mature trees that have been there forever that don't really let you throw a hyzer unless you get a little sneaky. I love the sidearm play here, but it does require a big arm.
A lot of power. More than 300 feet of power. What a shot. That was a grand drive.
There is some out of bounds on the left side with that sidewalk, and if you turn it over right, there is a road. The only OB behind the basket is about 50 feet past.
Paige going. Looks like gentle turnover. Oh, pretty. Almost to the circle, maybe just inside.
But with such a little cashy shot.
Yeah, it looked like she was just throwing a frisbee in the park. I actually like the right side play in between the mature trees.
Me too.
With like a stable disc kind of turned over that comes back and around.
Yep. Especially in this headwind, it feels like a safe play.
Exactly. Lykke hanging it out a little to the left, and she's going to land about 45 feet away. Let's see if we can see a big old sidearm here. Caroline early. And that's risking OB. Yeah. Yep.
Had a lot of spin on it. Got a really big flare skip.
Yeah, a lot of power just early.
She'll be taking it from right around circle 2 edge, just outside.
Just outside. Lykke for a long look at birdie. Man, she's not even going to jump, and she has that much power on her straddle.
Paige taking a knee from just inside the circle. Leaves it just a little low. This is a little bit more downhill than it looks. I love that play.
Kristen or birdie.
More green.
7 down through 14.
Wow.
Again, like we said last year, Katrina Allen had the best round at 8 under on the final day. Oh, brutal.
Holy moly.
Dead center.
On the pole.
Yeah, it had a lot of force on it, but not what you want to see.
Oof. I can feel the heat rising into my face.
Yeah. She looked mad.
Yeah, I spit outs, man.
Yeah.
And we are all in the open for the rest of the holes now. And this next hole, the corral hole, is one of the hardest holes on the course. It's like they give you a nice little buffer that you want a birdie, and then they put you on this thing.
In a headwind. So difficult. Right side fence OB, left side road OB, weird culvert in the middle that you can find if you fluff a shot. In the headwind, you see a lot of sometimes people going out to the right over the fence with a stable disc. You see some turnovers pushing the left side road, which feels sketchy, but is probably the best play for distance, even in a headwind, to throw something that flips and drifts. Then you're throwing over the corral of electrical equipment. Got to keep that stuff in there. And
don't want it wandering.
No, it's a pretty easy birdie if you can get over that little culvert area. Maybe not easy birdie. The second shot's not that long if you land inbounds.
The second shot's slightly uphill.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
really
true.
notice it, but it definitely plays uphill. And these green little spring trees in the middle and right next to the basket surprisingly block a lot of shots.
It's true. You can definitely not get there. But like from where Kristen lands, which is a perfect drive, you're thinking like, yeah, I got this one.
Oh, definitely.
You know? Paige.
With the slowest disc ever?
Yeah, that was really interesting. It just kind of held and it never really hyzered out, and she stayed in bounds.
Then it just grabs. What? Oh my gosh, I feel like that was a putter.
It flew like one, didn't it?
Yep.
But maybe it was a mid. Who knows? And Lykke, this is a classic mistake, trying to keep it under the wind. Hopefully she got to the top of the hill, because otherwise you have an uphill run up and you're kind of trying to throw flat, and it's very, very awkward.
And it's still about 310-ish feet to the basket from that uphill run up.
Look at this big old sidearm from Caroline.
Heck yeah.
Huge. Matches Kristen's distance.
I love that right side too. It's nice and open over there to access the green.
Yeah, it's true. I never land over there.
Me neither. Awkward run up.
Yeah.
Scary.
Definitely messed with her.
Yeah, it's scary to throw the...
Go under, go under, go under.
Yes, it might have worked.
You occasionally see this where it sneaks under the fence.
And we get to see
I hope
it.
she knows.
It's awkward too, because you have to throw nose up with that headwind. And speaking of awkward, look at Paige up against this pole here.
Yeah, I'm
Thankfully,
nervous.
inbounds.
Hopefully I think it was farther than it looked.
Another
solid shot.
Yeah, another little not super overstable disc.
Yeah, really great recovery shot.
Kristen with just a pretty regular hyzer. Oh no, that little tree got her. Yeah,
that's why they pay us the big bucks. Quality commentary.
And look at Caroline.
She's so far up here.
You don't
do it. Get the birdie.
She doesn't even have to worry about the wind or the fence. Up there in circle 1.
Yeah, you definitely want to be parked on this hole. You really feel the wind on this green.
So this plate is the 4th most difficult hole. It's usually in the top 3.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's really hard to stay in bounds on your drive.
Only 13% of the field got it. That's 4 out of our 52 competitors.
Lykke, a little low on her birdie putt. Kristen, a little right side on hers.
I love saying like 50 plus competitors now at every event.
Every event.
We used to be like out of 32 competitors.
Yeah, like we can hit 50 or 75 now. Oh, dang, Caroline coming up short on the birdie putt. It's really cool how much things have grown and changed, and we appreciate all of you coming along for the ride and supporting FPO as well.
Y'all better get on the train and stay on. You're there early now. You're the fans before everyone else was.
Couple comeback putts from Lykke and Kristen for par. And Paige for her birdie. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That second shot was phenomenal.
Yeah, such a good recovery. Caroline with the par, with 2 pretty phenomenal shots.
Little smattering of colors compared to the front 9. A little bit more happening on the back so far.
Look at Cy and Deanne, both 5 at 4 under. Paige Shue at 3 under. Owen Scoggins at 2 under. Look at a hot goose in the hot 10 at 2 under.
Honk.
Honk.
Yeah.
Yep. And to
under
be
par all through like what, 16?
Yep.
Places?
Top 20 looks like you want to be around even par or better. Hole 16 at 609 feet in a headwind. It plays as a pretty doozy of a par 4. You want to get a big drive out here into the middle. They added some little sticky trees, the classic wood chips, to show you which ones are new little babies. And they do get in the way. Being more on the right-hand side, closer to that road, there's an out-of-bounds fence, and I think it makes it tougher to get to the green because you have to go over out of bounds on your second shot.
It's
that pinches.
tighter. Yeah.
I think being left is better, but it does bring some more trees into play. You just want to go huge here and then kind of deal with what you're dealt.
You occasionally see a roller, though not usually in a headwind. Paige with a nice rip. I hit one of these stupid little trees.
Did you stay near it?
I got it far enough away where it was fine, but I was so mad. Like, they're tiny.
They're so
You don't
little.
have to hit one of them.
Kristen takes to the sky, covering some ground. She'll be in the wide open.
Yeah, she's ripping on that grand drive really well all day today in a prime spot. Lykke with a D3. Solid shot as well.
I feel like this hole plays farther than the 609 that's
I do
clocked
too.
here.
I mean, it's always 2 full rips.
Yeah.
for me anyway. It's hard to get the distance to make the upshot kind of easy.
Yep.
Ooh, that looks crushed as well. See, that looks stable. What is that? Oh, that's an Orbit Grace.
Oh.
Caroline up first.
Lining up a sidearm for the second shot? She's got to have every bit of, 275 left?
Oh, I think it's got to be more like 300.
Yeah.
I think
Look at this.
290 at least. Parked.
Crushed. Now we
Great
see what
shot.
she was doing out in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, finally, we're out of those stupid woods.
No, I
can open up.
I heard in her press conference that she doesn't have a lot of wooded courses from where she's from, near Dallas.
Okay.
So she doesn't play a lot of wooded courses, but she likes them. She loves wooded golf.
We need to remember she only has been playing since 2020.
It's hard to remember that when you see a sidearm crush like that.
Lucky getting
into the bullseye.
Yeah, getting caught up early. Kristen going out and around to the right, counting on a little skip here.
Yeah, keeping it low is the play because that tree she skipped under can grab your disc and knock it straight down.
Yeah, that was great. Definitely planning on the skip if you take that right side play.
That sidewalk is out of bounds on the right side. It can come into play, but Paige is far enough left that she's probably not thinking too much about it. She's throwing another slow and not super overstable disc, sliding it up inside the circle.
Yeah, she went straight at it. At first I thought it was early, but that was a really solid shot. She's throwing those slow speed discs so well. It's really fun to watch.
Nice little sidearm approach from Lucky.
Paige for birdie. And to get to even par. Yeah. All day.
On the elevated basket in the wind.
And that's 3 out of the last 5 for Paige. Really kind of turning it on in the back here.
Picking up the pace. The sunshine greeted her.
Oh, beautiful. Gosh, there's never even any question on that birdie putt from Kristen to go to 8 down.
Wow. First event back, and she is showing us how it's done. Nice birdie from Caroline as well.
Yeah, that forehand was just so good.
And a par is very respectable on this hole. And we move on to the hardest hole on the course.
Oh man, the hardest hole in the world.
The 2 holes left are always 2 of the most difficult.
Something I think is very possible, looking at leaderboards one day and seeing 20 different country flags on the leaderboard.
Montenegro is a small country, but it's a beautiful country.
Having father and his daughters out there and just seeing all the discs in the air flying, that wasn't here 3 days ago.
I really believe that kids are a future. Put something out, whatever we have as a gift, put that in them, invest in them, go through life with them.
Hole 17 is something else. Sidewalk on the left. You can take this right side and do like a straight play that hyzers to the left, or you can do power sidearm or big turnover, though it's a little bit risky. In the tailwind, you want to get to this tree we just passed on the left. If you can get in front of that, you are lined up so well to attack for birdie, which is just a dream. I actually like that we're zooming out and showing this landing zone. I think it's really smart and very cool that you can kind of get the idea of what these players are trying to do. The second shot really calls for a forehand. You can make a backhand turnover work, but if you overturn it, it will cut roll into the water. We saw Valerie Mandujano with, I think, the shot of the year last year on her approach on this hole.
And raging wind. It is out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side as well.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
those woods are not safe.
Yeah, that's important.
Kristen with a just beautiful sidearm.
Really good.
Right to the front side of the landing zone.
Yeah, it still, you want to get past those trees if you can, because then you have a straight look at it, versus Kristen, I guess we'll see, but might be still just a hair tucked. That's huge. Look at how huge this is. It's too far.
No way.
You never see that happen.
Yeah,
With
never.
a forehand,
No,
anyway.
Yeah,
like sometimes
never.
you see someone pipe a backhand that far, but I think it just shows Caroline's power.
I mean, with her sidearm, she could probably save a par from there.
Probably, yeah.
Unreal.
This is a solid sidearm from Lucky, too. Landing in a decent spot.
Landing short makes this corner really tough because
So
you almost,
scary.
yeah, you almost have to throw a blind approach shot towards out of bounds. Kristen's far enough where
Nice.
she doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, she did get all the way over to the tree and just throws it in. No, what?
Oh my gosh, check
Stay. What a freaking shot.
Are you kidding?
Did she hear me say that Valerie threw the shot of the year?
She's like, watch this.
Yeah, wait for it.
Oh my God.
Look how close this was. Look at this.
Just go in. Give the people what they want.
Nuts. What a cool replay.
God. And still inside the circle, too.
Yeah. So here's where we see it get scary for Lucky here. You really want to hang it out over the water, which feels really scary. But if you go early right, you don't, oh, okay.
I like this play.
This is what I do if I'm where she is as well. You just trust yourself on the approach. Otherwise, it's just so risky. So Caroline using the rule where you can go back as far as you want from where you're marked out of bounds. So she goes to a flat spot and rips another forehand. Is that out?
I think so, but it did definitely cross in.
Yeah, it touched. Oh, it's in.
Yep, it might be laying right on the edge.
Gives an extra little wave for the confusion. All right, so Caroline has a par save putt.
Paige with another nice, floaty, perfect little slower speed disc.
Puts it to about 26 feet.
Lucky's third. Backhand. Something overstable, but she throws it a little low. The shot is a little scary for sure.
Yeah. That's one you want back though. And she's just going to lay up, which is smart. That water comes into play fast, as we saw with both Caroline and Kristen.
Yay. Taking a meter in from the water, even though she was safe. Trying to get some better footing.
Yeah, it's tough footing right there.
It rained
muddy.
a lot last night. So everything on the course is pretty muddy. We probably should have mentioned that earlier. You're always wiping your shoes off.
Yeah, in the woods.
That Texas mud.
Literally, anytime anyone got on cement, all you heard was stop.
Yeah. Paige leaving it low for her birdie putt.
Here's Kristen for another birdie to go 9 down. Sick. Yes.
Wow.
I'm fairly certain that 8 down's the record.
Yep, I think you're right. Caroline with a nice bogey save with an out-of-bounds stroke. Lucky, unfortunately, taking the bogey as well with that tough corner shot. We move to hole 18. Kristen, 9 down. It never gets
with a
boring.
bogey. God.
She was so crazy. We do get to play hole 18 with a tailwind, though. Sometimes you have to play this hole with a headwind, and it's legitimately terrifying. You want to just throw something out kind of over the water a little bit because you ideally want to land in the flat. The left side is a little upslope towards that out-of-bounds sidewalk, and it's tough to throw your second shot if you're having to run downhill on that. Your second shot goes across the little lake. The basket's perched on a pretty steep little hillside. There's some room behind it to work with, but only about 50 feet before you find out of bounds on the marsh deep.
Some of these ladies go for it. I saw Haley go for it in practice anyway. Ellen in practice. Paige has gone for it in competition. In a tailwind, some people did it today. Kristen is not, but I'm just saying.
She's like, I'm just trying to get some more green.
Yeah, if you play it right, it can be a nice, simple birdie. Kristen landing in the prime spot. I think the hardest part is the second shot, like not blasting past it.
Paige is eyeing it up.
Yeah, totally.
Here we go.
I think she goes for it more often than not.
Oh, there it is. Kristen, I threw a grace across that.
Got some nice turn. And it's across.
Oh, man. Yes. In circle 2.
Awesome.
What a bomb.
And that's a nice little safe putt, too. Not super deathy.
It was a great safe shot, too. Like, she was crossing land pretty early on that right side before hyzering out.
Caroline taking the typical play here. And checking up. Oh, barely.
Skipping onto that hill.
Yeah, she's on the hill.
I started throwing mid-range on this first shot just to not get that skip on the hill. Kind of digging that play because you see a lot of people land on that hill and the footing makes it tough. We'll see from both Lucky and Caroline going downhill but trying to throw kind of up and over the water feels awkward.
Caroline does have the advantage, though. Being able to throw a sidearm down the hill is a little easier. Lucky, you can see her kind of sashaying downhill, but that looks nice.
Nice sachet for sure. Beautiful. Making it look easy.
Love the uphill putt as well. Away from the water. Oh, Caroline opting for the backhand.
Looks solid. Come on, get there.
Yeah.
Great shot.
This played is the second easiest hole of the day. Tailwind helped everyone.
Yeah, it is awful in a headwind. Kristen hanging it out wide, letting the disc hyzer in. Goes a little bit deep, and that is the exact putt you do not want.
Yep.
If you airball that, that's in the water.
Especially look at that flag. Well, right now it's calm.
Paige for eagle. Yes.
With a little fist pump, too.
What a way to finish, to go 2 down.
Only eagle of the day. And we got to watch.
Jomez. Heck yes.
Circle to eagle putt. Psh. Dead
so
center.
Good. Love the fist bump. 5 down through the last 7 holes. Paige Pierce to go 2 down on the round.
She turned it around. Caroline, that was a birdie putt. She'll have a little bit of a comebacker for her par putt. This putt's so scary, but she gets it.
So great to hear her interview before the front 9. Go watch that if you haven't, you psychopaths. And it was great to see her come out, even if it wasn't the day she wanted. Lykke finishing strong with a birdie, couple over, a little bit to clean up tomorrow. And Kristen Tattar, course record, yeah?
Yep, she's
right?
got to be leading the field. I think
You
you're
mean
right.
gotta be.
She's got to be.
Gotta be.
She's got to be.
She has to be. Yeah, we saw some 6s and 5s under. We'll check the leaderboard here in a moment.
So solid with only 1 bogey from Kristen as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man. That is tough to do at the Beast.
Absolutely.
Bogeys are
Staying
just
clean is
lurking.
just like the best feeling.
We're going to watch Kristen, Ella,
Hansen, 7 down.
yeah, Deanne and Haley both at 5 down. Ooh, this is going to be a fun card to watch.
Totally.
Sai and Anakin Steen, 4 down, just behind. Excited to see another European woman in the leaderboard.
Steph Vincent, Paige Shue, Owen Scoggins.
Steph Vincent, a Texas local,
Yeah.
slaying the Beast. Love to see that.
Got a bunch of 3s, 2s, 1s, all the way down to 20th. Wow.
Even par to be in the top 20 here at the Beast, and that's I feel like way higher than normal. Everyone just doing so awesome. Thanks again to UDISC for all the awesome stats. Thanks to Jomez for this sweet FPO footage. We got a whole 2 more rounds left this weekend. This is a 3-round weekend.
That is math.
Saturday and Sunday at the Beast. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow.
Yeah.
20 degrees
Muggy,
warmer.
Mid-80s, something
Everyone's
like that.
going to get sweaty. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 hot geese.
Honk.
Thank you to the Founders Club also.
Yeah, you guys are the best. You keep us going.